All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 311 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and no visuals up for this episode. We're going to have a one-on-one talk. We're going to have a straight talk. No visuals up if you are listening on the podcast avenue. I usually have like visuals up or whatever the case may be for the show. I don't have any of that up. It's just going to be me, but both of my cameras looking into the camera, and I want to talk to you guys. There is going to be a very interesting 12 to 18 months. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. And I want to discuss what are we facing, what possibly could happen, and how we'll get through this. If this is your first time here, I am VF Baller. This is the First and Frame Rate Show. I talk about Atlanta Falcons and Georgia Southern football. Two things I want to talk about Georgia Southern football really quick, but before I get into that, I want to finish my intro. Like I said, you can find this podcast on various avenues. I said that before. You can find it on YouTube, Rumble if you want to watch. If you want to listen to it, you can listen to it on iTunes, Google Play. You can listen to it on Stitcher, Spotify, and Anchor. I appreciate you taking the time to come over this way. I really appreciate it. And if you want to donate to the podcast and what I do over here, all the links are down in the description below on the podcast or video avenue. Really quick, Georgia Southern, real quick. This is not going to take long. Justin Tomlin is not on the team anymore. Quarterback Justin Tomlin. I kind of expected that because we don't have space for him. Obviously, I mean, we have a lot of quarterbacks that are coming to the school. We talked about that in other episodes, and there was just no room for him. And I don't think he played as well, but that's another story for another day. Also, Amari Jones is a full-time wide receiver, which is very interesting. And practice will be starting this week, so I will be covering more Georgia Southern stuff. So those are the two things I wanted to, well, three things now that I wanted to cover. That Amari Jones is a wide receiver now. Justin Tomlin is no longer on the team. Enough all that. We're going to have a real talk about this. You already know what's going on with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has been traded to the Colts. I did a video about that earlier yesterday, and I thought about it after I made that video, and I'm still sticking with what I feel for the most part. This is going to be a really big problem for the Falcons if they don't get things right. I think they still have things set up to be sustainable, but I think it's going to be a really, really tough road for the Falcons. And I want to know, as a Falcon fan, are you ready for this? I've been a Falcon fan for 19 years now. I will admit I was not born a Falcons fan when I grew up in Georgia, but it was so bad because I lived in Savannah, Georgia. They didn't even show Falcon games on television. So to be honest, I really didn't even know that Atlanta had a team until the early 90s. That's how bad it was. So, I mean, me being a kid as well, all I knew was Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. So I was a big 49ers fan growing up, but I wanted to root for the home team when I realized we had a home team. And I've been loyal ever since. I done went down to run down all the things we've been through, from the Chris Millers of the world to the Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley situation. Everything in between there. Eugene Robinson, you remember him? You remember Eugene Robinson? You know, we all know about the Michael Vick situation, Joey Arrington, Byron Leftwich, Bobby Petrino. Man, I've been through it all because we've been through so much. And I only been a Falcon fan, you know, since 93. I don't remember any other stuff before then. So I'm not going to sit and say, I was a lifelong fan. No, I wasn't. But are you ready for what's about to happen? Because if you haven't been following this team, it's been bad times here in Atlanta. And I'm not talking about, oh, you choked the game or you lost this. No, it's been bad times. Our rival, the Saints, know what this feels like. And to be honest, they're probably about to go through this as well. Even though they have a better roster than us, they're probably about to go through the same thing where they win 6-7 games. But we're looking at a situation now, we may be losing, or we may be winning lower than that. It could be a really bad situation. And are you ready for this? Because I'm about to run down some things that we're dealing with right now. Matt Ryan has been traded for a 3rd round pick. Yes, that 3rd round pick could be valuable because you have to but you're going to have to knock it out the park in the draft. But, you know, that's another story we're going to talk about another time. But You are $62 million in dead cap right now. Now that's going to change in 2023. We're going to have a lot of cap money. That's cool. But I'm talking about 2022. That's in the title right now. So we're going to be dealing with the cap hell for 2022. We're not going to be able to sign, outrageous, but the top players that are available now, they're probably not going to come here because Deshaun Watson didn't come here. We did sign Marcus Mariota, which is, he's okay. He's shown some flashes at Las Vegas when he was able to play. He did show some flashes. It's kind of like a redemption tour for him to see if he can do what he can do. But now he's going up against his rival, Jameis Winston in New Orleans. It's funny how that plays out. We went from Matt Ryan and Drew Brees, two Hall of Famers, to two guys who were supposed to be intertwined throughout their entire career based on draft status. And it kind of works out because they're still going to be intertwined because of their draft status. Playing with two teams that are hated rivals. That's like somewhat of a silver lining, but we'll talk about that another time. We signed Marcus Mariota for a 2-year deal. We also have to deal with a brutal schedule next year. We're going up against the NFC West and the AFC North. We have to play the Cleveland Browns this year. But the AFC North is pretty good. Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, I'll miss Trubisky, whatever. Joey Burrow. And then you look at the NFC West, we got to go up against the Rams, which is Matthew Stafford. Go up against the Chargers, which is Justin. Oh, we're going up against the Chargers too? I didn't know that. Well, we'll get to that in a second. We're going against the Los Angeles Rams, which is Matthew Stafford. Seattle Seahawks. Okay, Drew Lock. All right. You got me on that one. Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray. Okay. And who else is over there? The 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo. Quarterback play, not too much. Teams in general, yeah, they're tough. Now, in between that, we based on what I see here on FBschedules.com, we got to play Washington again. We also have to play the Chargers, which I didn't know we played the Chargers. And we got to play the Chicago Bears. And that's funny. Kendall Vildor comes home to play. Interesting. Justin Fields come home to play. Interesting. And also we have our rivals, the Saints, twice. Panthers, not too much of a rival, but we played them twice. And we see Tom Brady twice. Tom Brady's licking his chops right now. Tom Brady's loving what the NFC South looks like right now. He's loving what the NFC South looks like right now. So we have to deal with that. It's going to be ugly. I think we may win 3 games. And I'm not even looking at the schedule. And I'm not even going to go into that yet because we don't know what the whole team is going to look like after everything is said and done. But on paper right now, we may win 3 games. Are you ready for this long season? Are you ready to deal with the heartache and pain? Are you going to be one of those fans that continue to point on the sideline as this train wreck continues to crash at a very slow motion rate? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to blame everybody after the emotions die down? Are you willing to continue to chastise every move that is going to be made from here on out? Or are you going to be somebody who's going to watch football? Are you going to be somebody who's going to critique everything that you see in a football sense? Looking at the eye test and see what players that are going to be here that actually may be fun to watch in a season where it's going to be a train wreck, but you can still see some shining moments. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to sit here and try to find the best in everything that you see in this season I'm not going to say what a real fan does, because a real fan does, critique and actually point out the problems. But that's one thing to do, is to point out the problems and critique. But this is some people just outright just want to, kick a team or kick a fan while they're down when they're trying to enjoy their favorite team, no matter what type of personnel is on the field. Now, me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at everybody that's going to play on the field. I want to see how well they do. I want to see how bad they do. I want to evaluate this team based on the eye test and give you my opinions on them. Now, it's easy for me to say that because I'm running a show, a podcast, or whatever the case may be, but you can do that as well. That's why I like it, the fact that you're here. I like the fact that you can use the comment section. Hell, even if you really, really disagree with me, you can cut on your phone, put on that camera, and make a video telling me, where I'm wrong at. And that's cool. I don't mind, real feedback. I don't mind that. I like to have that I like to have that dialogue back and forth when we talking about real football, about what you see on the TV screen, what you see when you're at the games, what do you see when you catch a clip of a game. I think that's where that's where the fun in all of this is. Yeah, you want to win. Fans are fanatics. Fans just want to win by any means. But I'm no football aficionado, but I love the sport. I don't know it all, but I love the sport. I love watching who does what in the trenches, who does what at defensive back, who does what at wide receiver. How does a quarterback manage a team? We got Marcus Mariota here that actually getting a starting job possibly. Depends on what they do in the draft. He's going to be a starting quarterback. What's going to be really interesting to see is what he does as being QB1 once again. It's going to be really, really interesting. Because I don't know what to expect out of Marcus. To be honest, when nobody really knows what to expect out of Marcus Mariota. I don't know. Is he going to be, is he going to be QB1? Is he just going to be a placeholder? I mean, what are we looking at here? I have no idea. I mean, when you look at, he played 4.5 seasons, basically, at Tennessee. His best season basically was the 2017 season. He went 9-6, completed 62% of his passes, threw for 3,232 yards. Well, you know what? As far as a win record, that's his best season. But as far as efficiency, in 2016, he went 8-7. He threw for 34-26 and had 26 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. That's actually pretty good. That's 2016. That's almost 6 years ago. The last time he played, it was at Tennessee. He was 2-4. He went 7-2 as far as touchdown to interception ratio. He ended up getting benched. My son is a mess, y'all. At Las Vegas, he played one game, 17-28, 126. He only had one. He only threw 2 passes in 2021, which is understandable because you had Derek Carr, so that's understandable. So he only threw 2 passes. There's a lot. He's a retread, and there's a lot of tread on his tire, but I'm not sure it's going to work out. I don't think it will, but it'll be interesting to watch this. What does the other guys do? How does Kyle Pitts, react to this? You're not going to have your quarterback anymore. The only quarterback you had in the NFL, it'd been one season, but it's the only quarterback you had. How does he balance? How does he, step up from the next season? I think this team, honestly, I think this offense may be a little bit more dynamic than we can give it credit for, because Marcus Mariota can move a little bit. He can move a little bit. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this offense is going to be played out. But I just don't think I don't think that this team is going to be assembled enough to win games, not with the, going up against the AFC North and the NFC West. What do you think is going to happen with, the running back situation? What do you think, which receiver is going to come in? Are you going to watch what receiver is going to come in and play? I mean, what are you really going to do? Are you going to just not watch and wait till we come back and win? Now, that'll be interesting. if you don't want to watch the train wreck, but if they ever decide to start winning again, because 2023, which I don't want to get into 2023 right now, but 2023 is like a situation where they're going to have a lot of cap space and they can sign some players. And if that happens and they start winning, are you going to come back around? Does that make you a fan? I think this is something that we need to really think about here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who are you and what are you? Are you a fan of the player? You like Matt Ryan? You like, Grady Jarrett? Which I think he should be traded at this point, but that's another story for another day. It's my phone going off. Sorry about that. Let me get that together. Okay. Like I said, I think Grady Jarrett should be traded at this point. So, what type of fan are you? You like Grady Jarrett? You like Matt Ryan? You like Julio Jones? You didn't worry about the logo. You was worried about the play. I mean, that's fine, but just be honest. That's why I got this question up on the screen. Are you ready for a long season? Are you ready to deal with that, or you want to wait till one of your favorite players out of the draft? Let's say we get Bryce Young or what's the other quarterback from Ohio State? I can't remember. Olave or whatever. I can't remember. I'm not good with names. Nevertheless, you want to wait till one of those guys come in and then you want to shake your pom-poms again? I don't have nothing against it, but I can't stand that. If you're a team, if you're a fan of the player, that's cool. But that's just something that just does not sit well with me. Because I expect a lot of Matt Ryan fans to be Colts fans now. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I would root for Matt Ryan. I would love to see Matt Ryan have a Matthew Stafford style season. I would love to see that. That man gets him a ring, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Matt Ryan may not play again if that happens. If he goes to the Colts right now and win a championship, he may not come back, and I don't blame him. After all the stuff he's been through, 28-3 up and down seasons with the Falcons, you got that monkey off your back and win the Super Bowl. I'm good. I got an MVP. I got all these accolades. I was offensive rookie of the year. I'm good. I mean, I wouldn't blame him, but I don't think he'd do that. But I wouldn't blame him. But I will be rooting for him. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, man, what are we doing here as far as a team? Are we going to wait till a fan favorite? I mean, don't get me wrong. Fan favorite players do help create a fan base. I mean, that makes sense. That's obvious. That's very obvious that that's the case. You look at Cordell Patterson. He's one of the reasons why some people do like the Falcons now. Because he's a fan favorite. They love going to the games and see the things, the pregame stuff that he does. But are you, do you want more guys like that are just likable, or you just want the team to succeed? I don't want to see a situation where my favorite guys on the team are struggling. I honestly, I prefer best of both worlds. I want to be in a situation where I'm able to be successful with the players that I like, not just having the players I like and want them to look good while we're losing by 10 or 20 points. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of how it was with the Michael Vick experience. Michael Vick was out here doing everything he could, and we won football games with him. But when we lost games, everybody was just still happy to have Michael Vick. When it kind of flipped when Matt Ryan came. When we lost, they pointed the finger right at Matt. And, so what kind of fan are you? Are you ready to deal with this very long 2022? But this is another thing. What if they turn this around? Before I close, I'm getting to the 20-minute mark. I don't like to be too far with these shows. What if they turn this thing around and actually win some football games? Because you got to remind you, this team is not a bad team. I just think the other teams are better. All Marcus Mariota has to do is not turn the ball over. Literally, that's all he has to do. He does not have to turn. You got to understand. You look at the Titans, and I know the Titans are a better team, but they lost their road to the Super Bowl because of Tannehill turning the ball over. If Tannehill doesn't turn the ball over, they're in. You get what I'm saying? So that's all that Marcus Mariota literally has to do. Complete safe passes and don't turn the ball over. If he goes into the season and let's say he has maybe, I'll give you the most, 7 interceptions, which I know this is far-fetched. I'll raise up even higher. If he has, I'm not going to raise it higher. 7 interceptions throughout the season and complete a fairly high percent, I'll say maybe 67, 68% of his passes, and only turn the ball over at the most 7 times, you got a shot to win some football games. Because that's literally that he has to do. He could just be a mobile game manager. What happens if that happens? What do you do then? It's just something to think about. But right now, realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to be in a lot of trouble this season. But it's just something to think about. Like, what do you do for the 2022 season? Are you ready for a season where you may not want to watch football? Are you excited to watch football? Are you excited to watch the Falcons play? I will give you my opinion. Now I'm going to close on this. I'm going to watch every single game. And I'm not saying that because I do this show. Even if I wasn't doing the show, I would watch every game. I've been there when the Falcons was going through the Bobby Petrino years and the Joey Harrington years. I watched every game. It was rough, but I watched every game. The Chris Redmond years. Byron Leftwich. Come on, man. Where were you? When we thought that Matt Schaub was a better quarterback, well, I ain't going to say we, but when I thought Matt Schaub was a better quarterback than Michael Vick, when Michael Vick went down for a while. Were you there? I'm going to be watching every bit of this. Every bit of this. I remember the Jarius Norwood days. You know what I mean? TJ Duckett. Yeah, I mean, there's another running back, I can't remember, it was number 43, but I remember him too. You know? It's been some ups and downs. I mean, this is about to be a serious one. I hope you guys are prepared. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this content, hit the like button if you're on YouTube. If you hit the like button on Rumble, I think they have a like button on Rumble. Share this content. Let people know what we're doing over here. Georgia Southern Eagles, Atlanta Falcons is what we do over here when it comes to doing content over here. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like, share this content once again, like I said already. If you're on the podcast side of things, go over there and give me a 5-star rating on the star chart. If you're on Apple, if you're on iTunes, do that. Leave me some feedback as well. Also, if you're on any of the other podcast avenues, I think they have an auto download button. So as soon as this any of this content goes up, it will automatically download for you so you can listen at your leisure. I really appreciate all the support, even the feedback. I love all of it. Thank you. The comment section, you guys are awesome. If you want to donate, you can click the links down in the description to donate. I'm going to get myself together for the rest of the day and get my son together as well. He's sitting over there. If you're watching the video, you can see he's behind me. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. You guys be blessed. I will see you guys again on Wednesday unless, something pops up and I have to make another video. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.